Peace. What's going on, everybody? Give everybody a chance to scroll on in before we dive into the topic for the day. We'll be talking about fasting, one of my favorite topics to discuss. Give people a chance, scroll on in, man. Hopefully everybody is having a peaceful Thursday. Once again, staying healthy, staying positive, staying productive, staying powerful, staying righteous, all those good things. What's up with the D-Mens? Everything going with you? Yeah, I want to just dive into fasting today, man. Fasting is a very misunderstood subject. It's a very misunderstood concept. But once you thoroughly understand it, it is a concept and it is a tool that can save your life. It is a method that can literally save your life. And it's age old. It's like an ancient technique. Our ancestors understood fasting. Like everybody understood fasting up until now, up until this point. What's going on, Sweet Tea? How everything going in Seattle? Yeah, fasting is very misunderstood. It's a lot of different forms of fasting. And it's a lot of mistakes that people make when they are embarking on a fasting journey. And I just want to touch on like the top 3 in my eyes. Yeah, D-Mans, that's that 11. So 11 to 7. Okay, that's the window. So you're doing a 16-8. Most definitely, John, got to get the reps in. It's all about the reps. It's all about the reps. And people don't even understand like fasting in regards to just being a great weight loss tool. Fasting is also just good for like mental health. It helps with like that clarity. It help keeps the brain sharp. I don't know if anybody has ever went on like an extended fast, but like once you get past day 3 and you start reaching day 4, 5, 6, and 7, like the mental clarity is crazy. The mental clarity is crazy. That's actually one of the best times to be in that creative space or that creative zone when you are fasting. Like a lot of times people get in that creative zone, they start creating when they are fasting. I know that I can work well when I'm in an extended fasted state. Like my mind is clear. What's going on, Kobe? At 24, that's good. Okay, we got Belle in the building. Got her in the building. What's going on with you? Peace to you over there. How everything going wherever it is that you are located? How's everything going over there? And yeah, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then with the window, you can kind of choose whatever window will work for you if you are choosing to operate between that window. Which a lot of people, that's why I say you got different forms of fasting. So with the intermittent fasting, like I said, the most popular form is 16-8, but you can break it down however you want to break it down on a 24-hour basis. You can even do 12-12. Like if your goal is not to necessarily lose weight, then you can do the 12-12 intermittent fasting. 16-8 most popular. You got the 20-4. You got the 23-1, 22-2, however you want to break this window down. The most popular one is the 16-8. But they also say if you want to kind of speed up reaching that fat burning zone, they say the optimal fasting time or the window is like 19 hours to like 24 hours. So they say once you start fasting for about 19 to 24 hours, that's when you start getting into that fat burning zone. So if you really want to optimize your fat burning, then I recommend going like starting with 19.5. So that'd be fasting for 19 hours and then eating within that 5-hour window. That's what the science says. Yeah, juice fasting is pretty good when you're trying to ease your way into it. Yeah, fasting for 40 days, 40 nights. You actually did. You actually did something. I'm glad you stuck to it, but you actually did something I'm gonna tell people not to do. But I'm glad you stuck with it though, because if you can stick with it, then it's very beneficial. And that's an extreme fast. If you can stick with an extreme fast, then you will reap nothing but benefits. But most people can't. All demands always. I stay with energy. I stay with energy. And the thing about fasting is when I fast, I actually get more energy. Like fasting increases my energy. Like I'm good. Because we got recyclable protein within us already, so we don't have to really worry about that. You actually increase your muscle mass by fasting. So like it's just a bunch of benefits. And it's a lot of myths that's associated with fasting. But yeah, I fast and I can still lift heavy. I can still lift hard. Sometimes I work out better in the fasted state than when I actually eat, because depending on what I ate, that's actually going to slow me down, because my digestive system is having to put in that work to break down the food that I just consumed prior to working out, which is actually zapping my energy. So sometimes working out in that fasted state actually benefits my energy, and I have more of it, depending on what I would consume. But I recommend everybody and anybody do some form of fasting. Like you can only benefit by fasting. So I recommend anybody and everybody implement fasting into your daily lifestyle. And now that's going to go into my first mistake, the first common mistake that a lot of people make when they are trying to implement fasting into their lifestyle. The number one common mistake that I see people do or make is they do not ease their way into fasting. Like fasting is a big commitment, and sometimes it can be too much for you to handle if you've never done it before. So that's why I don't recommend anyone who is new to fasting start off by trying to fast. I don't even recommend 24 hours. But you have a lot of people, when they come across this information and they hear people talk about they fasted for 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, and they lost all this weight. Well, you know how high or overweight and obesity numbers are in this country. So when people hear that, they think it's a quick fix. So they automatically jump on the boat and they try to fast or detox for like 14, 30 days. I'm going to tell you off the bat. If you haven't fasted before, please do not try to fast for like 15, 30, even 7 days. Do not try to do that if you are new to fasting, if you have never fasted before. 9 times out of 10, if you get through it, it will be rough and you will reap the benefits. But a lot of people, for the most part, they cannot do that. They fold and they fail. I have witnessed this too many times. People bite off more than they can actually chew. So they've never fasted before, and they think that all of a sudden, something they've never done before that's going to be challenging, like mentally and physically. They think that they could just go 7 days without food. And let's just say they're 30 years old. They didn't spend 30 years of their life consuming food all throughout the day. 30 years of your life. Now all of a sudden you feel like you could just stop that and go 7 days without food and it won't be a problem. Like, nah, I do not suggest that at all. Some people can do it, but most people cannot handle that initially. You got to work your way up to those longer fasts and things of that nature. So that's why, and going back to what I was talking about earlier with the different forms of fasting, I would recommend starting there. The most popular one, like I said, is the 16-8. That's the best way to ease into fasting. Again, that's fasting for 16 hours and eating within that 8-hour window. So let's say 12 to 8 is your eating window. You start to get your first meal 12 o'clock, last meal 8. Before 12, no food. After 8, no food, just water. That's 12. That's the 16-8 fasting, intermittent fasting period. That's the most popular method in regards to intermittent fasting. But like I also said with the science, they said to really get into that fat burning zone, if that's your goal, is to burn fat, lose weight, and things of that nature, then it's about 19 hours to about 24 hours. So you can do 19-5. So that means you eating between that 5-hour window fasting for 19. So that could be like 12 to 5, 2 to 7, however your day flows, and you can kind of structure that 5-hour window between however your day rolls. So that 19-5 is good if you really need to expedite the fat burning and the weight loss. But you definitely need to ease into fasting. Do not do not try to start this journey off by going 30 days with just like water. It's going to be very rough and complicated. Like, it's only a chosen few who can do that. It's only a chosen few who can do that. When I have just started fasting, I actually went on a long fast. It was one of the hardest things I did. And it wasn't even that long. It was like 5 days. And that was killing me. It was killing me. It was rough trying to do those 5 days. So I really don't recommend trying to go too hard when you're starting off. It's baby steps, small victories. Celebrate the small victories. Yeah, when you fast for that long, you see more than visions. And yes, intermittent, yes, it really burns off fat. Like, no joke. My body fat is 9.8. Like, I'm under 10%, and I fast religiously. Like, I fast a lot. My body fat is 9.8. And it has not always been at 9.8. So I'm 9.8% body fat, and fasting is something that I live by. And I've also had other people that I train fast, and they drop body fat with the quickness. So yes, it burns body fat, and it helps preserve muscle mass. And people don't understand that about fasting. It actually helps you preserve muscle mass. So not only are you burning through that fat, but you're gaining that muscle mass. So you're leaning out, getting real shredded with it. Yeah, when you get home, yeah, and then the thing of it too, another thing that's happening too when you start seeing those visions, that's actually like related to the toxins that's going into the bloodstream, because you detoxing. So when you fast, and it's cleansing. So that means all the toxins inside of you, they are leaving via the bloodstream, however they want to make their exit. And that's one of the reasons why we have all those powerful visions and dreams when we fast and we detoxing and we cleansing ourselves. They say those are the toxins leaving. So we start having them vivid dreams, them vivid visions and things of that nature. Every time I fast, I have those vivid dreams, I have visions, man. Just a lot of stuff just comes to me. Yeah, you have all type of dreams with fasting, man. All types of cravings and all types of good stuff. That's why I said it's very challenging. So you definitely want to ease into it, because it'll be rough, man. It's hard to fight those cravings. It's hard to fight those visions. It's hard to fight those dreams. So the easier you start off with the fast, and like the more you will be able to kind of like ease into like longer fasts and things of that nature, or the better able you will be able to kind of transition to those 24 to 36-hour fasts. And I don't really recommend, you don't even really have to fast any longer than that, especially when you're doing it under a consistent basis. When you fasting consistently and making it part of like your lifestyle, then you don't really have to go on extended fast, because all those fasts that you would do monthly will add up. So that's why I say fasting is something that you should implement into your lifestyle, not do it to just reach a goal. Ronnie Ron, fasting wasn't even something that was necessarily created. Fasting was it was natural in nature. Like, that's just how the body evolved. That's how we evolved as humans. Like, we didn't always know where our next meal was going to come from. So fasting is something that just happened. Like, we didn't always have, like nowadays, we easily have access to food. Back in the day, that wasn't necessarily a reality. So that's why our bodies had to evolve. That's why we store certain foods as fat and whatnot, so that we can be able to exist for longer periods without food. That's how the body evolved. Like that's how the body evolved. The body had to adapt and adjust to the fact that, hey, I don't know when my next meal is going to be. So let me take some of this energy from this food and store it as fat for later usage, just in case I have to go several days without food. Then I got this backup. I got this backup energy source, which would be the fat, which is why we store things as fat. So that's how that pretty much happened. But nowadays, man, we have easy access to food. So it's kind of or you walk outside, go down around the corner, you probably got 5 or 10 fast food joints that you're gonna pass within a 5 minute radius or 5 mile radius. Yeah, juicing is good. Yeah, I would say juicing is good. Just based off of the research that I've done, I don't see any issues with juicing. Yeah, juicing is definitely good. Again, it all depends kind of like on your goal as well too, like what you trying to get up out of this situation or out of the fast. Like if weight loss, is your pure goal, then I recommend trying to do a clean fast, which is just like pure water, like alkaline water, and make sure the water has electrolytes in it as well, because you can actually, if you fast with water that doesn't contain electrolytes, then you actually will lose electrolytes by doing a water fast if it doesn't contain the electrolytes. So you want to keep that electrolyte, you want to keep the electrolytes within you to kind of help deal with like fatigue and things of that nature that may come with fasting and just the mental confusion. So if you start fasting and you feeling kind of confused and you have that high level of fatigue, then that means you losing electrolytes. So you would definitely want to fast with water that contains electrolytes. Like I got the Essentia water that has electrolytes in it. So when you fast with the water that has the electrolytes, then that will eliminate like the mental confusion that you may witness if you fasted with water that didn't contain the electrolytes, and then like fatigue. So make sure when you are water fasting, the water contains electrolytes. Yeah, the 3-day fast that goes into the lessons that I got, man. Sometimes the way they used to do it before you would get the 120 lessons that I got, that comes with my nation of God's Nurse 5% Nation. Used to have people undergo that 3-day fast before they got the lessons and all that. So yeah, that 3-day fast is crucial. What's going on, Khadijah? Yeah, too much alkaline water, it affects that. But too much water, period, can be a bad thing. So too much water, period, can be a bad thing. So the rule of thumb when you are water fasting is to not drink too much water. Only drink when you are thirsty. And for the most part, that's actually when we think we are hungry. So when you get them hunger pains, that's when you drink the water. Like that is when you definitely don't want to drink too much water while you are fasting. And that can become a problem. Yeah, so definitely don't drink too much water. The rule of thumb, drink only when you're thirsty. And for the most part, the thirst is the hunger pains that we think that we are having. We think when we think we are hungry, we are actually thirsty. So when you have that feeling, drink water. Yeah, they call, that water intoxication or hyperhydration. That's too much water. It's an actual condition that comes along with too much water. So you definitely don't do that. Yeah, Khadijah, that's what I recommend. It's two ways. It's two things I recommend with water. They either tell you half your body weight in ounces, or you can drink that a gallon a day. If you really need to expedite The fat burning and weight loss, drink an ice cold gallon of water a day. If you just want to expedite burning fat and losing weight, an ice cold gallon of water a day will expedite that process. But on the average, drinking half your body weight in ounces of water is perfectly fine. Yeah, it's the same for a smoothie fast, but again, depending on your goals, like depending on what your actual goals are, if you really need to lose weight, then when you are fat, when you need to lose weight, you need to do a clean fast, meaning you don't want to consume anything that's related to food, and that includes fruits and vegetables. You want to go pure water when weight loss is the goal. If you just fasting to like feel good and for health purposes and things of that nature, and you're really not concerned about losing weight, then smoothie fast, juice fast are all good. But when you really need to lose weight, and even if you are in that pre-diabetic or diabetic stage and you're looking to reverse it, then stay away from anything that can trigger an insulin release. And that's anything that is pertaining to food or it's like sweet that can cause insulin to be released. So the best thing that you could do if you're looking to like reverse diabetes or if you're in a pre-diabetic stage and you're trying to get those numbers down, water fast. Like when you are fasting pure water. Like no smoothies, no juice. Nah, D-mans, this the way you do it. The way you do it with the convert like the pounds, like so listen, if you are 100, if you are 150 pounds, that's about 75. You have to drink about 75 ounces of water. So it's half your body weight in ounces. So if you're 150 pounds, all you need to do is drink 75 ounces of water. That's half your body weight. That's half that body weight in ounces. And probiotics, I don't recommend taking them. I don't recommend them. And as far as the recommendation for the water fast, like I said initially, you just want to start off with the baby steps. So your first fast should be the 16-8, meaning you fasting for 16 hours and you eating between that 8-hour window. Now for that 16-hour fasting period, that's when you want to get all your fluids in, get your water in and things of that nature. You want to eventually work your way up to 24 to 36-hour fast, and you can do those what they call alternate day fasting. And one way, well, it's a few ways. It's a few ways to do the alternate day fasting. So you got the 5-2 alternate day fasting. That means you eat your normal amount of calories for 5 days, and then for 2 days, strictly water. So you can choose any 2 days out of the week, and you will just water fast for those 2 days. But then the other 5 days, you will consume your normal amount of calories. Some people break this up and they do 4 days where they eat the normal amount of calories and fast for 3. It just depends on your situation, depends on what you are trying to get out of fast. And the 5-2 is perfectly fine. But you want to work your way up to being able to do those 2 days, the 2 days of water fasting. And like I said, you want to start with the 16-8. Then you want to work your way up to the 19-5, fasting for 19 hours, eating between that 5-hour window. And then I say once you master those 2 forms of fasting for maybe 2 to 3 months, then you want to look into the 5-2. So you eating for the 5 days, fasting for the 2 days, the water fast for the 2 days. Then if you're feeling good about that and you want to try something new, maybe do the 4-3. Eating for the 4 days, fasting for the 3. But I recommend gradually transitioning into those 24-hour fasts. But I don't recommend fasting for longer than like 72 hours. Because again, if you fast in 2 days out of the week and you do that consistently, like that's gonna add up. Once again, that's why I recommend making it a part of your lifestyle. So eventually you want to get to a point in your life where fasting is something that you're doing on a weekly basis for at least 2 days. That should be the objective, where fasting is something that you do weekly for like at least 2 days. That's what you want to work your way up to make it a part of like your weekly regimen. Kobe, yeah, the mineral water, from my understanding and from my research, the mineral water has it has more benefits. But if you if you just want to use the alkaline water, then it's not harmful. The mineral water may give you more benefits in regards to how you may feel during the fast, but the alkaline water is not necessarily harmful. So either one to me is cool. Depending on kind of what you have access to. And D-Mans, the body fat that you kind of need for solid abs, I recommend trying to get between 11 to 15% body fat. 11 to 15% for men, and for women, I recommend a little bit higher, like 16, 18 for those solid abs, but look to get between 11 to 15% body fat if you want to get those solid abs. So then let me transition to mistake number 2 that you need to avoid while you are intermittent fasting. And that is eating the wrong foods during the eating window. So when you are intermittent fasting and you are doing it in a way in which you have the eating window, a lot of people make this mistake, because a lot of people ask me this and I have to clarify it. So when I say, all right, practice the 16-8, it means you fast for 16 hours, eat between that 8-hour window. First question people ask me is like, I can eat anything that I want within that 8 hours? I have to immediately stop. I'm like, no, just because I'm telling you that you can eat between that 8-hour window doesn't necessarily mean that you can eat anything that you want. So a lot of people think that since they are going this long period without food, that gives them the right to eat anything that they want between that 8-hour window or that 9-hour window or that 10-hour window. Whatever the window they have set for themselves is, they feel like they can just overindulge in all types of foods. No, you always want to keep it clean. You never want to overindulge in toxic foods, whether you are fasting or not. So between that window, that eating window, you want to make sure, as you should always be making sure, that you are keeping it clean. You are eating plant-based. You are eating your fruits, your vegetables, your whole grains, your legumes, your beans, your nuts, and your seeds. So you want to keep it clean. I got to emphasize that you want to make sure you are keeping it clean during your eating window. Do not overindulge in all the terrible foods. Thunder Scorpion, during the 16, when you are fasting, you can always drink water, but just don't overdrink. Don't drink too much water. Only drink when you are thirsty. Like I know some people that they were practicing the Ramadan. So during their eating window, they would literally overindulge in like all sweets, just all the wrong foods, like candies, cookies, cakes, and things of that nature. Like, that is terrible. That is the last thing that you want to do. For one, you should never break a fast with bad food, with toxic foods. You should literally break a fast with like a vegetable or like some vegetable bone broth or like a soup. That is how you should break the fast. And then you don't want to transition into a fast by eating overly toxic foods. You want to transition into the fast like the last meal before the fast. You want that to be something that's like plant-based, like a salad or like some steamed vegetables or things of that nature. You want it to be green. So you want to transition into the fast by eating your veggies, eating a salad. And then you want to break the fast by eating something like a soup, like a vegetable bone broth, or even a smoothie. So the last thing you want to do is before and after the fast, man, just overindulge in toxic foods. So don't have this mindset to where it's like I'm gonna be going 24 hours without food. So when it's time for me to eat, I'm gonna just pig out on unnecessary harmful foods. That is not what you want to do. That's counterproductive. Fasting doesn't give you the right to overindulge in garbage foods. Let me reiterate that. Fasting does not give you the right to overindulge in acidic and garbage foods. We always want to avoid toxic foods, and we always want to keep it clean and plant-based to the best of our abilities, no matter if we are fasting or not. Yeah, chia seeds, hemp seeds, flax seeds are wonderful, especially like hemp seeds. I snack on those. I keep some of those with me. It's easy for me to eat those. Yeah, Thunder Scorpion, get on it. And then, like I said, the more that you fast like this and it becomes doable, like the easier to be to actually do like a 24 to 36 hour fast. But you definitely start here. And it depends on the individual schedule. It depends on the schedule in regards to like there being better hours. It's a lot of science out here about that, man, but it actually really depends. Because they've done studies at people who had their eating window earlier in the day, and then they've done studies on people who've had their eating window later in the day, and it really wasn't a big difference, a significant difference in regards to like the effects that it has. It all really depends on the individual and then what you are consuming within that window. Yeah, Ronnie Ron, vegan cookies are not necessarily healthy. Just because something has vegan in front of it doesn't make it healthy. Yeah, they be mislabeled, like not mislabeling, but mislead us a lot with the label. So yeah, just because something is labeled vegan doesn't necessarily make it healthy or good for the body. It's a lot of junk food vegans out here. So between when you had that eating window, when you are doing the intermittent fasting, when you had that eating window, you always want to keep it as clean as possible, as plant-based as possible. That's only going to make everything a lot easier for you. The more toxic foods that you consume within that 8 hour window or within that 9 hour window or whatever the window is, the harder the fasting time will be or the fasting window will be. It is that much harder to fast when all you are consuming is toxic foods. It makes it that much harder to fast. Matter of fact, the ease of the fasting, the ease of the fasting revolves around how toxic you actually are. So if you go 24 to 36 hours on the fast and it was relatively easy, that means you are not as toxic. If you fasted for 24 to 36 hours and it feel like the world is ending and you are about to die, that means you are overly toxic. So always keep that in mind. The ease of the fast revolves around how toxic you are. So the easier the fast, the less toxic you are. The harder the fast, the more toxic you are. So remember that. No, Khadijah, I do not like the BMI chart at all. I'm not a fan of the BMI chart. Like I said, pretty much when I'm dealing with clients, the only number that I like to focus on really is two numbers that are important. It's two numbers that are important. I like body fat and then visceral fat. That's pretty much that abdominal fat, and that's one of the determining factors if one is going to have diabetes or not. So that visceral fat, when that visceral fat number is high, you are more prone to diabetes. When that visceral fat number is low, then you are pretty much safe in regards to attaining diabetes or not. So I like to pay attention to visceral fat, and I like to pay attention to body fat. And there are plenty of scales out here that can actually measure your visceral fat. So that's an important number. You need to get your visceral fat number. But that BMI, I don't really pay attention to it because it can be very misleading. But definitely pay attention to your visceral fat though, because that's that abdominal fat. That's what's going to determine if you have diabetes or not, right there, that visceral fat. So you want to get that number below 10, like 10 or below, if you can. So find out your visceral fat number. That's an important number. That's an important number that you don't hear a lot of people talk about. Like a lot of doctors and things of that nature don't tell you to go get your visceral fat number. They tell you about this BMI number. Oh, your BMI is over 30, so therefore you are more at risk and this, that, and the third. Like, talk to them about visceral fat. Like, give them the numbers that are really important, that body fat and visceral fat. Those are the numbers that I tend to focus on. So I tell a lot of people don't really pay attention to that BMI. So yeah, like I was saying, man, between that, your eating window, you want to make sure you're keeping it clean. You should always be keeping it clean. Even if you are doing an alternate day fasting, meaning you going 24 hours, 2 days out of the week, the 5 days that you are able to consume foods, once again, it should always be plant-based and always should be clean. And then another rule of thumb too, on your eating days, make sure you are getting your calories in. So another rule of thumb too, this is another tip. Take your whatever it is, whatever body weight that your target body weight. So your desired body weight, whatever your desired weight is, you take that number and you multiply it by 10. That's the amount of calories that you should be consuming on a daily basis when you are not fasting. So that's the minimum amount of calories you should be consuming when you are not fasting. So if your target weight is 150 pounds, then that's 1,500 calories minimum that you should be consuming when you are not fasting. So that's another trick too. Take your desired body weight, multiply that by 10. So the second mistake to avoid, man, just eating the wrong foods during the eating window. Always keep it clean. Eating clean should be a main part of your lifestyle. It shouldn't just be something that you do temporarily to reach a goal. So even if fasting is something that you do, when you're not fasting, we still eating clean. We always eating clean. I got to reiterate that important fact. We always want to eat clean. The third common mistake to avoid while intermittent fasting is please stay consistent with your fasting. A lot of times, like I said, people jump into it, they get this information and they look at it like a quick fix and think they're going to detox for 7, 14, 30 days so they can drop this weight and then go back to living the lifestyle that they was living pre-fasting. That is not the way to approach this situation. Intermittent fasting, as with anything that elevates your health, should be incorporated as a part of your lifestyle. So if you are not about to make fasting a part of your lifestyle, then I don't recommend embarking on the journey. Fasting is not something that we do to just reach a goal and then we drop it. Fasting is something that we do weekly. It's something that we do monthly. It is a part of our lifestyle. It's not something that we temporarily do when we want to reverse something, when we want to drop weight, when we want to eliminate body fat. That is not what we do with fasting. Fasting is something that we implement weekly and monthly. So you need to make it a part of your lifestyle, meaning you have to do it consistently. If you are not about to commit to fasting consistently, then don't commit to it at all. You need to find some other method in regards to losing the weight or whatever it is that you are striving to do. Fasting is something that you need to do consistently, because all that will happen if you use it as a tool to reach a certain objective, then once you reach that objective and get back to the way that you were living before fasting, you are going to go right back to that life that you were living before fasting, meaning you will put that weight right back on. meaning that disease or that ailment will come right back as soon as you go back to that lifestyle that you were living before you fasted to change your condition. So if you're not willing to commit to this for life, then don't do it. Don't do it, because it's only going to be discouraging. It's only going to be discouraging when you say, all right, I dropped my 100 pounds via this 30-day detox, so let me go back to life before the detox, and you put that 100 pounds back on plus 50 more. That's going to lead to all types of depression. So don't do that. Don't do that. When you make fasting a part of your life, not only will you drop the weight and reverse these conditions, but you will maintain a healthy condition and a healthy weight. It's all about maintaining. Essentially, dropping the weight is actually easy to do. All you got to do is like fast, detox, go on these so-called diets. You will lose weight initially. Anytime you eliminate, restrict yourself, and you move more and all that type of stuff, when you eliminate foods from your diet and all that good stuff, you will drop weight. That's naturally going to happen. It's a matter of maintaining the weight that was lost and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. That is the complicated part. It's like starting a business versus maintaining the business. Starting a business is easy. Anybody can start a business. It's simple. It's maintaining a successful business that becomes complicated. That's why a lot of businesses fail. It is the same thing with like maintaining that healthy weight, like losing weight, and then just maintaining a high overall level of health. So it's all about maintenance, man. So we don't want to just lose 100 pounds. We want to get to that healthy weight, and we want to maintain it. And we want to feel good. We want to have high energy levels. We want to be vibrant. We want to be able to think clearly. We want to have strong functioning bones and things of that nature. Like that's the focus. Like that is the focus. We don't want to just detox to lose 100 pounds. Then if you lose at 100 pounds too fast, that's unhealthy in and of itself. So you want it slow and steady wins the race. It took you time to put that weight on. It's going to take time to lose it the proper way. Be patient with yourself. Do not look for that quick, fast solution. That's never the way to go. Thunder Scorpion, this is what I tell people in regards to like the weight in regards to their height. It's more so about feel. You kind of, if you didn't been between those weights, then you got a pretty solid idea of where you felt most comfortable. I'm all focused on body fat. So you can be 160 and have a high level of body fat, and then you could be that same 160 and have a low level of body fat. So it's all about eliminating that body fat, man. We want to eliminate body fat. Whatever weight that you feel comfortable at, you can get to that weight, then start chopping down that body fat. So like I'm 5'6". They tell me pretty much like 165, 170. I'm overweight and all that good stuff. I'm more comfortable when I'm at about 160, 165. So I'm more comfortable when I'm at about 160, 165. So when I get in between that 160, 165, I just try to make sure it's more muscle than fat. I can get to that 160, 165, but it could be more fat than muscle. So that's why I tell people that scale only tells like half of the story. So when people see that weight, like even when I'm working with people and they say they want to lose weight, they don't understand. They'll get on that scale in like 2 weeks and they'll actually see their weight increasing. What happened was you are gaining muscle. So that's naturally going to happen when you start weight training and things of that nature. Like you're not going to initially start losing weight. You're going to gain that, like that weight, that number on the scale is going to go up because that's muscle being built. That's that muscle mass. It's going to take time for that fat to burn. So don't trip out when you see that number on the scale increase, especially when you start weight training and exercising and doing like high intensity interval training and things of that nature. You building muscle, and that's what you want to do. So that's why I tell people to get a scale that can tell you the whole story, that can get your body fat, that can get all that visceral fat, that can get your muscle mass, your bone density, and all that good stuff. I just found a good one on Amazon, I think for like $40, man, that tell you all of that. Yeah, D-Mans, if you 5'7", 173, get that. We need to get you down to 11 or 15%. So you can start by getting that 15%. Yeah, D-Mans, you just getting started, fam. You just getting started. Thunder Scorpion, man. I mean, like I said, vegan cheese. I mean, I eat it here like once in a blue moon. Like I'm weaning myself off of that. Like initially, I was eating a bunch of that. Like I was eating a lot of that, a lot of those vegan foods that you're really not supposed to be consuming, man. It just helps kind of with the transition. Tofu, I was never big on tofu. I ate it like once or twice when I had first transition to veganism, like the first time, like 10 years ago. I had tofu, didn't like it, haven't really had it since. So I don't regularly consume tofu. But the vegan cheese, I eat it once in a blue moon, maybe like once or twice a week when I have like a vegan or a veggie burger or whatever. So if I eat that type of stuff, man, like the vegan cheese, I eat it in moderation now. I used to go hard on it, but now it's more in moderation if I do. For the most part, I'm strictly like beans, vegetables, sweet potatoes, fruits, nuts, seeds, and all that. What's going on, Montel? Yeah, bounce back from fasting. It takes time. It takes time. It takes time. Just depending on kind of what your goals are. I don't know if you 138. I don't know if you're trying to like gain or if you're trying to lose more. I don't know what your objective is. But yeah, that third common mistake is a lot of people don't stay consistent with fasting. It's not even that they don't. I shouldn't even say stay consistent. It's just they don't take fasting as seriously as they should. They just look at it as something as a tool to like lose a certain amount of weight, and then it's like they just eliminate it. Like you don't play with fasting. We don't play with nature like that, man. Fasting is something that should be a part of your life. So a lot of people make that mistake. Like, oh, I just need to drop this weight. I'm gonna just go on this detox. When you looking at it like that, man, you're not gonna succeed. No problem, Thunder Scorpion. You got it. It's light work to you. It's light work. It's light work, man. When you transition into this healthy lifestyle, like again, you got to look at everything like it's a lifestyle. It's a part of your culture. It's a part of you. It's not some temporary. It's not something that we just finna do to reach this certain point. Nah, that's not how we looking at it. That's not how we looking at it at all. Fasting is something that beneficial and it's something that should always be done. At no point in your life should you not be fasting. At some point. All right, Montel. So you want to get more muscular. Do you know where your body fat is at right now? Do you know your body fat percentage? Like get muscular is essentially simple for you. Now you at 138. You want to get more muscular. It's pretty much time for you to hit the weights, man, and just get your calories in. Just eat clean and hit the weights, man. Do you some high intensity interval training. It's pretty much time for you to build now. You don't have to be in the destroy phase anymore. It's time for you to build. You want to build muscle. So it's time to build. So it's time to really hit those weights, do some high intensity interval training, like circuit training and all that good stuff, man. It's time for you to build. Yeah, find out that body fat percentage, man, and let me know. But it's time for you really much to pretty much to hit the weights now. If you're looking to build, get more muscular. Once you hit the weights, you're gonna see that improvement, and you're gonna like it. Yeah, building is right up my alley. That's what I do. Like I have to build. I'm always building. As far as like my muscle goes, I'm always in muscle building mode, hypertrophy and things of that nature. So I'm always in that mode. Yeah, so it's a lot of other mistakes that people make when they fasting. Yeah, Montel, I would say look on Amazon, man. It's a scale. I'm gonna see if I can find it because it's a scale that I just purchased. Wasn't too expensive, and it tells you everything, man. It gives you body fat, BMI, gives you visceral fat number, bone density, all of that good stuff. Trying to see how much. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone. Yeah, it was $39.99. And it's INEVIFIT. You type that in and type scale after that, and then you should pretty much see that $39.99 scale that I purchased, man. It gives you all of that. All right, D man. Yeah, you can burn the fat. Yeah, you can burn the fat and build muscle at the same time, but most of the time, a lot of people just focus on one or the other. They focus on cutting, and then they focus on building and things like that. You see bodybuilders do that all the time. You see bodybuilders do that all the time. It's like periodization, man. So you go through periods. It's like, all right, this gonna be bulking season. This gonna be cutting season. When you look at it like that, it makes it easier for you. So I recommend looking at it like that. All right, this is the time where I'm gonna focus on leaning out. So this gonna be cutting season. So we gonna get cut. We gonna get shredded. Then you look at it like, all right, it's bulking season. We gonna bulk up. I recommend looking at it like that. And that's even the way I may structure my workout. So it's like, and that has something to do with like determining your rep ranges and things of that nature. So when it's time to cut up, obviously you're gonna do higher reps, and you're gonna have smaller rest time in between sets. So it's, let's say, all right, if I'm looking to cut up, I'm gonna go 3 sets of 15 or 20, and I'm gonna rest about 30 to 45 seconds in between sets and things of that nature. That's when you cutting up. When bulking up is more of the goal. When it's time to bulk up, now the reps change. Gonna have about moderate size weight. You're gonna be going about 6 to 8 reps, and then you're gonna rest about a minute 30 seconds in between sets. Now we looking at hypertrophy. Now we looking at that mass building, bulking up. When strength is the objective, when you're just looking to get strong, then we decreasing the reps. We're going about, you either can go 3 to 5 or 1 to 3, depending on what you're aiming for. 1 to 3 if you looking to increase that 1 rep max on that powerlifting type tip. But if you're just trying to get that general strength increase, then about 3 to 5 is cool. And then you want to rest for about 2 to 3 minutes in between sets when you lifting for pure strength. Yeah, John, I'm actually working on the weekly and monthly workouts. I'm actually working on a way to be able to do that. Whether I create like an app or something, like I'm working on a way to do that. I may start going live on Instagram or something, just demonstrating little workouts, man. Or I might do Zoom. It's something that I'm about to do. I just don't know which platform I want to use to do it. Like I'm gonna start doing virtual workouts and things of that nature. And then with the meal plans, I also got stuff I'm working on with that. But I'm definitely about to use one of these platforms to do like some virtual workouts. I just need to figure out what would be the best platform for everybody. But I was thinking like Zoom. But I'm gonna definitely start doing like weekly workouts, man. And I just need to make sure I got the proper platform for everybody, just so they can get that workout in. Oh, no problem, D man. Yeah, man. Just focus on the season, man. If it's time to cut up, we focusing on cutting up. High reps, low rest period. It's time to bulk up. That middle range, that middle rep range, 1 to 2, 1 minute, about 1 minute 30 for the rest. Building that strength, like I said. Decrease the amount of reps, 3 to 5, 1 to 3. Resting for about 2 to 3 minutes, man. It's really that simple. Oh yeah, most definitely, John. Definitely keep people posted on that, man. Cause I be going hard. Like I just did something crazy today as far as my workout goes. So I just want to film more of my workouts because stuff be crazy. And then with this quarantine, I done had to get like creative. So I really be doing some intense stuff now, just with the whole quarantine and all the stuff that's going on now. So I be doing some real creative workouts. So I keep it spicy, man. So I don't ever do the same workout twice anymore. So I'm always doing something different. That's my new thing now. I'm always doing a new challenging workout. So yeah, man, hopefully I kind of cleared up some common mistakes that people tend to make while fasting. Hopefully y'all got a better understanding of how to approach fasting after watching this. That was just kind of my objective with it. I'm gonna go live again on Sunday, and I'm gonna keep the topic within the health and fitness realm. So if there's anything that y'all want me to touch on within the health and fitness realm, let me know right now so I can take notes and possibly make a video about it Sunday. So you got anything that you feel like you want me to touch on for Sunday, please comment that right now so I can take note. Like if it's a question that you have, or if it's a topic that you don't thoroughly understand in regards to maybe like veganism or just lifting or whatever the case may be. Okay, natural healing. Any particular ailment, disease, or anything that you want me to touch on there? Or you want me to just talk about natural healing in general? Right on, Thunder Scorpion. Calories. Yeah, Montel. Me talking about calories because I'm not a fan of counting calories, so I can make a lot of yeah, I can definitely talk about calories. I can definitely talk about those. Man, yeah, it just take time, man. Repetition. Keep cooking them. And then I don't know if you got like any vegan cookbooks or whatever. But yeah, man, just get you a bunch of those vegan cookbooks, man. Just keep going. Okay, mom's got a lot of ailments. We about to get mom straight. We about to get mom straight, John. And Jalen Hayes, if you become vegan, do you have to have less sex? No. Not at all. I don't know where you got that from, but no. And Sweet Tea, my hair growth, man, I've been growing my hair for like more than half of my life almost. that's where the growth came from. And then just paying attention to what I eat. Just paying attention to what I eat, man. That's pretty much all I've been doing. Just been growing it for half my life. Been growing this hair for a very long time. I forgot what my actual head looks like. So it's looking like we got calories, natural healing. Sweet Tea want me to talk about my hair growth. Y'all got any other topics y'all need me to touch on? We could do it. We could do a lot with that. Yeah, man. I know how that can be, man. Watching mom, Deuce, watching a family member be on those pills, man. That's not a sight we like to see, especially when it's like easily reversible. Especially when it's easily reversible, and it could have been easily prevented and things of that nature. So that all starts to just frustrate you. Oh man, Black History. You already know. you already know that can get deep. Oh yeah, high blood pressure. Yeah, we gonna get that blood pressure down. That's easy. That's easy. That's light work. That's light work. Crazy thing about it is diabetes is essentially easy to reverse. Just got to get them to do it. That's the hard part. And high blood pressure, that is easy to get that blood pressure down, man. It's easy. Again, they just got to do it. We got to get them to do it. We got to convince them to do it. That's the hard part. Beginning workouts with no equipment. Oh, I can definitely do that. I can definitely do that because, like I said, I had to get creative. So I was doing a lot of workouts with no equipment. And yeah, D-Mans, I actually had asthma too, so I can relate to that. They say I grew out of mine, but I really don't feel like I did. But once I started to change the way that I was eating, for one, when I eliminated like dairy, dairy, and then like cow's milk and all that good stuff, drastic improvements. Drastic improvement in like my overall conditioning. So with that being said, fam, to avoid, somebody told him to avoid leafy greens like kale and spinach. That really doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. Doctors out here telling people not to eat fruits, not to eat everything that's good for them. They'll tell them to eat some bacon and eggs and all that, though. So that doesn't surprise me at all. Doesn't surprise me at all. For the most part, a lot of these doctors are unhealthy themselves. A lot of these doctors have the same conditions that they are trying to help people tame. So, like, a lot of these doctors are pre-diabetic and diabetic, and they trying to help other people with diabetes and things of that nature. So, like, nah, yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Oh yeah, how mucus affects the body. Yeah, I got a bunch of books on the mucusless diet or the mucusless healing system. Yeah, the doctors letting them eat McDonald's, eat Burger King, eat whatever is bad for you, pretty much. Whatever is toxic and acidic, the doctors are letting you eat that. But with that being said, y'all, I gotta head to this client. I gotta get some training in, so I gotta torture these clients real quick. So it's been nice building with y'all, man. Hopefully, y'all have a peaceful rest of your Thursday and Friday and Saturday, and I shall see y'all again Sunday. Again, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it on the health and fitness tip. Gonna elevate that health, man. We gonna get mom dupes off of these pills. We're gonna get pops off of these pills. We're gonna get the grandparents off of these pills. We're gonna get ourselves off of these pills. Whoever on these pills, whoever suffering from any type of ailment or disease, we gonna cure, we gonna reverse it, we gonna prevent the future seeds from walking down that path, whatever the case may be, man. We just about to promote health. We about to get people healthy out here. That's the objective. But y'all stay up out here, man. Y'all stay healthy. Y'all stay peaceful, stay powerful, stay righteous. I'm out, y'all. Peace.